The unknown object 1. A strange signal. It all began with a signal. In early January 2025, an amateur radio operator in Europe picked up an unusual monotone transmission, resembling an old radio beacon. The signal repeated every 7 seconds and, strangely, it wasn't coming from Earth, it was originating from space. At first, no one paid much attention. Scientists dismissed it as background noise, possibly from an old, decommissioned satellite still drifting in orbit. But then, something strange happened. One researcher analyzed the transmission more closely and discovered that the noise contained a pattern, a sequence of numbers. When translated using Morse code, it revealed a cryptic message: "They are listening." Who were they? And who was sending this message? The discovery caused a brief stir in online forums and among conspiracy theorists, but without solid evidence, the mainstream media quickly lost interest. The world moved on, but at the same time, onboard the International Space Station, ISS, something even more unsettling was happening. Underscore 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 2. The discovery. A few weeks after the mysterious signal was first detected, the crew of the ISS noticed something odd. One of their external cameras, monitoring Earth's orbit, captured a dark silhouette against the distant stars. At first, it looked like a piece of space debris, but upon closer inspection, it became clear that it was something else, an old satellite rocket. Key details about the object: it was orbiting Earth in a stable trajectory, but there were no records of how it got there. Its design resembled early Soviet and American satellites from the 1950s and 1960s. The exterior was covered in layers of cosmic dust, but faint faded markings could still be seen on its surface. Most importantly, it was transmitting the same eerie radio signal that had been picked up weeks earlier. The crew immediately reported the discovery to Mission Control. However, instead of excitement or curiosity, the response they received was unexpectedly stern. Stop sign, do not engage. This is not your concern. That should have been the end of it. But among the ISS crew, one astronaut reacted differently. He didn't just seem surprised, he looked worried, because he had seen something like this before. The approach 1. The silent astronaut. The crew of the ISS sat in silence after hearing Mission Control's unsettling response: stop sign, do not engage. This is not your concern. Mission orders were rarely so blunt. Usually, ground control would at least explain their reasoning. But this time, nothing, just a direct shutdown of their curiosity. Commander Ethan Cole, a veteran astronaut with over 15 years of experience, glanced at his crewmates. They were all thinking the same thing. Something wasn't right, but one person stood out. Dr. Alexander Petrov, the Russian flight engineer, had gone pale the moment the satellite appeared on the monitors. His breathing had quickened, and he kept staring at the faded markings on the object. Ethan nudged him. "Alex, you okay?" Petrov blinked as if snapping out of a trance. He forced a small smile. "Yeah. Just tired." But Ethan wasn't convinced. Later, when the rest of the crew was busy with their routine tasks, he pulled Alex aside. "You've seen that satellite before, haven't you?" For a long moment, Alex said nothing. Then, in a voice barely above a whisper, he muttered, "I think so." Ethan's stomach tightened. "What do you mean, you think so? Where have you seen it?" Alex hesitated, his hands gripping a safety railing. "My grandfather. He worked on a classified project during the Cold War. I remember seeing something like that in his old documents. But the project was erased. The satellite was never supposed to exist." Ethan felt a chill creep down his spine. Underscore 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 2. A risky decision. Despite the warning from Mission Control, curiosity, and suspicion won over. That night, while most of the crew slept, Ethan and Alex floated into the observation module. They adjusted the cameras, zooming in on the unknown satellite through the lens. They could see more details: small blue diamond, the faded logo of an unknown Soviet-era research facility, small blue diamond scratches and dents, as if someone had deliberately tried to destroy identifying marks, small blue diamond, a small antenna still transmitting the eerie repeating signal. The object was less than a kilometer away from the station. Ethan made his decision. "We need to check it out up close." Alex tensed. "Are you crazy? They told us to leave it alone." "That's exactly why we should go. If this thing isn't dangerous, why are they acting like it is?" For a long moment, Alex didn't answer. Then, reluctantly, he nodded. Underscore 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 3. The spacewalk. The next morning, Ethan and Alex suited up for a scheduled maintenance EVA, extravehicular activity. At least, that was the official reason they gave mission control, but their real objective was the satellite, small blue diamond 845 universal time coordinated, the airlock depressurized, and the two astronauts stepped into the void, small blue diamond 852 universal time coordinated. They fired their maneuvering thrusters, slowly gliding toward the unknown object. Small blue diamond 859 universal time coordinated. As they got closer, the details became clearer. The metal was corroded, as if exposed to some strange force. The faded Soviet emblem was barely visible. Alex's breathing grew heavier. He activated his suit camera and whispered, "My grandfather worked on something called Project Kolos. This might be it." Ethan reached out and touched the surface of the satellite. The moment his fingers made contact, the radio signal changed. The monotonous beep suddenly shifted into a new pattern, something more erratic. And then, in their helmet radios, a distorted voice spoke. "Who? Ah. You?" Both men froze. The satellite had just spoken to them, the voice in the void one. The impossible transmission. For a moment, neither Ethan nor Alex spoke. They stared at the dark, ancient satellite, floating silently before them. Then the voice repeated, "WHO. Ah. You?" It was garbled, mechanical, like an old recording corrupted by time. But beneath the distortion, there was something else. Something almost human. "Did you hear that?" Ethan whispered, his breath fogging up the inside of his helmet. "Yes," Alex confirmed, his voice shaking. They both knew that no satellite from the 1950s, especially one that appeared abandoned for decades, should be able to broadcast a voice. And yet, it had. It must be an old recording, Ethan reasoned, trying to stay calm. But Alex wasn't so sure. Underscore 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 2. Retrieving the data, Ethan activated his suit scanner, linking to the satellite's decaying communication port. A small data transfer began, pulling whatever information was left inside the machine's ancient memory. File 001, transmission log file 002, Project Kolos file 003, neural pattern tests. Ethan murmured. No, Alex whispered, shaking his head. "What?" "I think I know what this was. My grandfather. He once told me about a project designed to broadcast human thoughts directly into another person's mind. A weapon. But it was shut down. Everyone involved disappeared." Ethan didn't respond. His heads-up display showed the transfer was 83% complete. They needed just a few more seconds. Then, thud, something hit the satellite from the other side. Both astronauts spun around, their helmet light sweeping the empty void. Nothing. Then, thud, something hit it again, but there was nothing there. No debris. No other spacecraft. Just the dead silence of space. "Ethan, let's go," Alex whispered. The data transfer finished. Ethan disconnected, and then, in their helmets, the voice returned, but this time, it was not mechanical. It was clear. Cold. Alive. "You should not be here." A shadow moved behind the satellite. Underscore 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 3. Panic in the dark. Geo. Now! Alex yelled, pushing himself backward with his thrusters. Ethan followed immediately, his pulse pounding. He turned one last time, just in time to see the satellite's antenna begin moving on its OWN. It was still functioning. And it was still watching them. They reached the ISS airlock in record time. As soon as they were inside, the hatch slammed shut and the atmosphere was restored. What the hell was that? Ethan gasped, pulling off his helmet. Alex collapsed onto the floor, shaking. "We were never supposed to find it." Mission Control's voice suddenly crackled over the comms, sharp and urgent. "Stop sign. Explain your actions. Now." Ethan and Alex looked at each other. They had retrieved the data. But what had they brought back with them, and more importantly, who had just spoken to them? The signal inside one. Whispers in the silence. The ISS was quiet. Too quiet. After the spacewalk, Ethan and Alex barely spoke. They hadn't told the rest of the crew what had happened, not the voice, not the strange movement of the satellite, nothing. But the tension in the station had shifted. Something felt off. Later that night, while the station drifted over the Pacific Ocean, Alex woke up gasping for air. The room was dark, the only illumination coming from the soft glow of the control panels. He could hear the gentle hum of the station's ventilation system. But underneath it, a voice, not over the radio, inside his own mind. "Can you hear me?" Alex froze. His breath came in short, panic bursts. He squeezed his eyes shut, trying to convince himself it wasn't real, but the voice came again. "You brought us back." Underscore 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 2. A mind under siege. The next morning, Ethan found Alex at the observation module, staring out into space. His face was pale, and dark circles hung beneath his eyes. "You okay, man?" Ethan asked. Alex didn't respond right away. Finally, in a hoarse whisper, he said, "I think the signal followed us." Ethan frowned. "What do you mean?" "We disconnected." Ale.